Turkish Airlines EuroLeague in association with
Here now, in this game, one goal, one team. Fight for that possession, gotta act fast. Another shot, another pass. The city comes to life and they got something to say. Come on, let's go. I feel devotion.
The box office battle. Making waves in the push for the post.
The fans doing what Zvezda's fans do. And here we go.
Full steam ahead, take that! Oh my word, it's like a dunk contest out here. Throws it down. It is nothing but string music.
Hello and welcome to the Serbian capital for a European rivalry that takes on extra special importance tonight. From the Belgrade Arena, it's Crvena Zvezda Meridian-Bet Belgrade against Real Madrid in Turkish Airlines EuroLeague round 32. If the playoffs began today, Zvezda would be through to the quarterfinals, while Real would just sneak into the play-in round. The Spaniards aren't normally looking up at the Serbians in the standings, but Real has finally started to get the sorts of results they are used to getting. They have won their last 6 games in all competitions and 11 of their last 13, and their 3-game EuroLeague winning streak has them just 1 game outside of the top 6. Head coach Chus Mateo knows just how critical this game is likely to be for Real's postseason chances.
The mentality got to be very strong. We need to be patient, to be calm in the game, and to read the game in the right way.
2 nights ago, Zvezda destroyed Virtus Bologna 88-52. It was the 3rd largest EuroLeague margin of victory this season, and no EuroLeague team has scored fewer points this season than Virtus managed on Wednesday. But Zvezda suffered their biggest defeat of the season in Madrid back on the 24th of October, and Yannis Varopoulos knows his players will need to step up their defensive intensity even further in tonight's rematch.
We know how quality Madrid has. They have a lot of players, different type of players, big men, guards, wings. They have quality, but we know what we have to do, and we need to be focused to follow the plan and play with our way the game.
Zvezda starts the night at 18-13, while Real Madrid is 17-14. It is a very tasty matchup in the Turkish Airlines EuroLeague Rivalry Series game for round 32. Greetings, everyone. I'm Darren Kilfera, and I'm delighted to be alongside Joe Arlucas here in the Belgrade Arena. Joe, Zvezda can clinch at least a play-in playoff place with a win tonight, and I suspect it's going to be pretty loud in here for the next 2 hours or so.
Yeah, it's been loud already for a couple hours before we even got here, I think. And it's going to get louder as we see some of the results from yesterday and the games going on around the EuroLeague. Hey, this is a special moment for Crvena Zvezda because they're in a place where they've never been before. It's going to make it a little bit more difficult, maybe a little bit more pressure on them. They haven't beat Madrid in the last 5, and in those 5 games, they've lost by an average margin of 16 points. So I'm sure that's in the back of their mind.
5 big games tonight. You've also got Panathinaikos in Paris later on. There you see the current table. Zvezda, they have tiebreaker advantages on both Monaco and Bayern in front of them, so if they win this game tonight, a top 4 place is not out of the realm of possibility.
No, it's not. They have another home game coming up, so they know that if they can win this game tonight, it's a big step forward to maybe getting that 6th spot and definitely staying out of the play-in.
And you see Zvezda's results trending upward, as are Real's over the past few games. They were in danger of missing the playoffs, but they control their own destiny now.
Well, this is Real doing what Real does. I mean, they kind of just hit around and wait. Sometimes they'll dominate like they did last year. Other times they'll just sit around and wait. See this roster right here? They're ready to go. It's 3 in a row. Like you said earlier, bunch of games that they've won in ACB also.
Everyone's healthy. Xavier Rattan, Mays, and Serge Ibaka are the healthy scratches for Real Madrid tonight. Plenty of depth up and down the roster, plenty of talent, and a couple of the key players we'll be looking out for tonight, Facundo Campazzo and Mario Hezonja.
Yeah, well, other than these players that we're going to look at, I want to talk about the addition of Gabriel Deck, who's also come back defensively and offensively, and Bruno Fernando, the physicality. But we know it all starts with this guy right here, Facundo Campazzo, 12.5 points a game. to me, he's the engine of this Real Madrid team, of every championship they've won that he's been a part of. Obviously, the incredible season last year, and every game, if they can keep him in the game, and Crvena Zvezda can't take him out of the game, it's going to be a tough win for Crvena Zvezda here at home. And of course, Mario Zonia, who's been inconsistent this year, let's say from the three-point line, but we know what he's capable of doing. Only 6 for 17 from the field in the last 2 games. But, I mean, once he starts lighting it up, he's a guy that doesn't stop.
Yeah, hey, Zonia, a lot of big games recently. Before those 2 somewhat tough games, he led the team with 19 points in the win over Barcelona, 18 points away to Pau. And there you see the Crvena Zvezda roster. Still no Joe Balenboy, Luka Mitrovic, or Mike Daum, but lesser lights like Dejan Davidovac and Rokas Giedraitis have had amazing games in recent weeks. And when you've got those sorts of role players stepping up, it makes things a lot easier for the big man.
And that's exactly what's happening. Coach Frolobos has guys stepping up that they don't expect, so that's harder for the other team to defend. Also, you don't expect Davidovac to come out and score 17 like he did the other day, or Giedraitis the way he's been playing this year to score the 20 against Olympiacos on the road. And of course, this guy's always been solid throughout the season. I suspect that Capasso will be defending him, go behind the picks. He's only shooting 28% from the three-point line, so you're going to let him get the deep shot if they want. If he wants to take it, he can take it. He's not a great shooter from the field, but he is a distributor. This guy, 17 points the other day. It was the first time that he scored double figures since round 4, I think, or round 5 it was. He's not used to scoring double figures. He also did it against Olympiacos on the road.
Right,
so
yeah.
Davidovac has had 2 big games, and he's been stepping up for them.
And key head-to-head matchup tonight, Petrushev and Tavares, 2 biggest of the bigs.
People complain to us about this one. What do you do with Petrushev with Tavares? You got to, because Petrushev is shooting a 3 at about 35-36%, so if he can get a couple threes, but he can penetrate on Tavares. Tavares has been dominant in the last 5 or 6 games for Madrid, both domestically and in the EuroLeague. So if he continues that dominance here tonight, he's got no one to defend him inside.
Zvezda has been so good defensively this season. Real, their strength's more balanced. What kind of game do you really expect here tonight? And can, in particular, Real dominate inside with Tavares and the like?
Well, I mean, both teams play similar. You look at it right now, Crvena Zvezda is number 3 in the league in assists. They had 28 assists against Virtus the other day. That's an amazing number for them. They had 17 at halftime in that game. Of course, that first half was pretty easy. Madrid plays that type of basketball too, so I expect a little bit more up-tempo. Most of their games are low-scoring, physical games, but I think both teams have changed, and now that the dominance of Tavares, they're going to pound it inside the whole time to begin without Balenboy in the lineup.
2 coaches, Chus Mateo in his 3rd year with Real, Saropoulos in his 2nd season with Zvezda. Saropoulos has done an amazing job this season harnessing the talent that he has available to him. There's Ognjen Dobric. He had 16 points on Sunday in the domestic game away to Borac Čačak. And again, it's a sign that domestically it's slightly a different kettle of fish than playing a team like Real Madrid, but players can step up, and players have stepped up for Zvezda all season long.
Yeah, I think that says a lot for Coach Verhofstadt. He's giving the guys the confidence to be able to go out and play and to step up. I love the way he set this team up, and I love the way he's trying to take the pressure off his team throughout the season, because all he talks about is the fact that, listen, we've never been in this position before. We've never been here before. So if we don't do well, relax. You know, they went in this 3-game slide right after the break. They come back with 2 victories, which were huge. But that 3-game slide, I thought everybody was counting them out, but this is the character that this team has. They keep fighting back.
And they won that game away to Olympiacos without Filip Petrushev, because he, of course, is on loan from Olympiacos, was ineligible to play in that game. And it's next man up. That's what we've seen all along.
That's how it is throughout the EuroLeague, especially with injuries. This year hasn't been that bad of a year for injuries. Still got a long way to go, but as you see the local fans saying, giving a nice hello to these Real Madrid players. They will love Capasso, though.
As always, hostile to the death. You see the Real Madrid players coming out here. And you mentioned, Joe, Zvezda, it's been 9 years since they played a meaningful game as late in the season as this. They have been in the doldrums mostly in the EuroLeague standings of late. 2016, the last time they reached the quarterfinals, and a win tonight, it will guarantee them a top 10 place, but it really puts them in the box seat for top 6 and getting into that quarterfinal round. They're so desperate to see here in Belgrade tonight.
Yeah, you know, when you're coming from a team like this that's been struggling throughout over the years, you tend first of all, if we get into play-in position, that's a great season for us. Now all of a sudden they're lurking around the 5th and 6th place, and now they're talking about being in the playoff and maybe even looking into getting a home court advantage if a couple other teams slip up along the way. So, listen, this league, this game, and it's just full of expectations. And every time you do one thing, you have to worry about doing another thing.
See the Zvezda players now being introduced. There is Petrushev, number 30. Nikola Kalinic, he's been a little bit up and down of late at 19 points against Barcelona, his best of the season back on the 18th of October. Yago, the little guy, such a facilitator when he's on his game. Nemanja Nedovic, he can fill the hoop with the best of them when he's on his best form.
Yeah, Nedovic is tough. Nedovic is that guy that once he gets streak shooting, he's dangerous to defend. Like I said, with guys like Cody Miller-McIntyre, I'm sure Chus Mateo probably has a game plan to play behind the picks with less help from the big man, where when you get a guy like Nedovic, you have to get help on that pick, step out, and make sure that you're not letting him get an open look at the basket, make him drive to the basket.
Nedovic had 30 points against Real Madrid last March in a losing cause. You mentioned that Zvezda does not have a lot of experience defeating Real. Real on a 5-game winning streak against the Serbians. Last time Zvezda won was in March 2022. Last season, Real won here in Belgrade, 72-58, behind Mario Hezonja, double-double, 17 points and 10 rebounds.
I believe that was exactly 1 year ago today, if I'm not mistaken. I was looking at the numbers today, and it was either March 28th or March 29th, but exactly 1 year ago today that Madrid won that game here in this home on the court of Crvena Zvezda.
And you mentioned that huge blowout win that Zvezda had on Wednesday. Virtus only 52 points, the worst mark of the season in that regard. Alba Berlin had 53 points in their loss away to Žalgiris on February the 4th. And only Efes in defeating Milan 110-66 back in January, and Olympiacos defeating Bayern 112-69 in January. Those are the only two bigger margins of victory that any teams have recorded this season in EuroLeague play. So Zvezda on a high, but they were saying immediately after that game on Wednesday, tonight is the real challenge of this double week.
Yeah, they know that, but listen, tonight would have been a bigger challenge if they didn't take care of business on Wednesday night.
Very true, very
so
true.
they took care of business. They did what they did. I don't think anybody expected to take care of business the way they did in such an incredibly dominant fashion. But the bottom line is they've set themselves up for a little bit of history here, and this is no bet. Look at, I played with Real Madrid. I played against these guys. I played in this stadium, and there's nobody more than all these people in red that we're seeing in front of us right now that want to get this victory against Real Madrid. It wouldn't be the same if another team was there, but doing it against Real Madrid is even more special for them.
Absolutely. We are just about ready for the opening tip.
Maybe I would correct myself and say Partizan.
Wow.
But I just thought that was the obvious.
Well, I mean, Real Madrid, the name it resonates throughout basketball, it resonates throughout football. It is a massive international sporting name, and everyone takes extra special delight in beating a team with the sort of pedigree that Real has. Just let's be quiet and listen to the fans, generating this wonderful atmosphere. There's a starting five, actually. Campazzo, Abalde, Deck, Garuba, and Tavares.
Going defensive once again is Chus Mateo. Wanted to start out right off the bat with the defense. Again, we'll see who Tavares is going to pick. Let's see what the starting lineup is on the other side. And you had Ray Patuzov. That's what I thought they were going to do. They're going to leave John Brown on the bench for a little bit to bring him back in, get a little bit more physicality with Tavares, but they're going to see how it goes. Kalinic is one of those guys, and David Owens, they can defend that pick and roll and cut by Tavares on the rotation, but once they get him that ball, he gets in that semicircle on the offensive end, he's unstoppable between his hands and his ability to score.
Referees, the German Robert Lautermoser, the Lithuanian Vitas Vidius,